Hello friends, Satyendra here, and in this video, let's do the flange coupling in Creo Parametric. So let's get started. So this is my flange coupling, and flange coupling is the simplest rigid coupling used to transmit power from one shaft to another shaft. Now if you see this coupling all around, it looks like this. Now if you see the drawing, this is the assembly drawing, and this is the part drawing. So if you see this table, there are three machining parts: flange, shaft and taper key, and we have two purchase parts: hexagonal bolt and hexagonal nut. So first I will complete all these parts one by one, and then I will assemble it to complete the assembly. So let's start from the beginning. So before you start, you go to File, Manage Session, and from here you select the working directory. So select a folder where you want to save all your parts. Now once this is done, then start your part with creating a new file. Select the part, solid, assign the proper name and say OK. Now to start this part, I see a revolve feature first. So for this, I'll go to revolve, onto the front datum plane, normal. Now to create a revolve feature, first place a datum center line somewhere here. Now draw the first entity. So I'll create a line first. So I'm creating this line from here till here. Now the dimension. So this dimension will be dia 45 and this will be dia 190. Now once this is done, just draw the rough sketch. Avoid equal constraint, and for that first you right click and once again right click. So first right click will hold that constraint and the second right click will dismiss that constraint. Now generate the required dimension. So this is one dimension which is 20. Then I have this dimension which is 75. Then I have this dimension. So I'll generate a new one and this is 90. So my sketch is done. Now I'll say OK. Now this revolution is 360 degree. So let it be 360 and say OK. Control D for default orientation. So first feature is done. Now I'll create the second feature, and the second feature is this keyway, which is this one. And for this I'll go to extrude onto the front datum plane, normal. Now if you are using higher version of Creo, then you can go for clip model, but if you are using lower version, then you can simply go to hidden line for sketch creation. So I have the higher version, so I'll go for clip model. Now you go to reference and generate the reference. Now draw the sketch. So I'll start from here. I'll go like this, then I'll come down, then this side, and then I'll close it. Now the dimension. So they have given dimension from here till here. This is 47.9. But this dimension they have not given. Instead of this, they have given the taper ratio. Taper 1:100. So it says that when the keyway length is 100, it will get reduced by 1 mm. Then if the keyway length is 75, then it will become 0.75. So to calculate this dimension, there is one more easiest way. You just multiply 1 by 100 with 75. So you will get 0.75. So in that case, this dimension from here till here, this will be 47.9 minus 0.75. So now this is 47.15 and this is 47.9. So this sketch is also done. Now I'll say OK. Now you go for remove material, make it symmetry, and this gap is 14. Now I say OK. So the second feature is also done. Now the third feature is a hole. So for this, go to hole and select this surface. Switch on your datum planes and datum axis. Now just see the hole specification. So it is 4 holes, dia 12 on 140 PCD. So for PCD, go to placement and change the placement type. So make it diameter. Now you drag this handle to this center axis to get the PCD. So this is your PCD 140. Then drag this handle to this datum plane. This angle you make it 0. This dia is 12 and this is the depth. You make it to next. That's it. Now you just say OK and your hole is created. Now select this hole and go for pattern. Go for axis pattern. For circular pattern, select the center axis, 4 item onto 360 degree and say OK. Holes are done. Now the last feature, which is a round. So go to round, select this edge. This is 3 mm. Hold the control key and select this edge and this edge and say OK. Control D and your first part is done. Save it. Now the second part, and for this once again go to new, part, solid, assign the name and say OK. So the second part is the shaft, and to create this part I'll go to extrude onto the right datum plane, normal. I'll draw a circle. Now this is dia 45. I'll say OK. Now if you see this drawing, they have given the keyway length 90, but they have not given the total length, because here they have given the break line symbol. So this length will be even more. So we will assume some length here. So I will assume as 150 and I'll say OK. Now first feature is done. Now the second feature is this keyway, which is this one. And for this, first I'll create a datum plane. So I'll go to the plane. I'll select this datum plane. I will move above. Now we need to calculate this dimension. So when the whole dia is 45 and this is 39.5, then we need to calculate this gap. So from here till here, this will be 45 by 2, which is 22.5. So if you minus 22.5 from 39.5, then you will get this gap. So this will be 17. So make it 17 and say OK. Now select this datum plane and go for extrude, normal. Now you go for reference and create this reference. Now create a center line first, then draw the sketch. Just like this, go to delete segment and delete this segment and this segment. Now the dimension. So this is 14 and this length from here till here, this is 90. Now say OK. this depth, you make it 2 next and say OK. So the second feature is also done. Now the last feature, which is chamfer. Select this edge. Now this is 2 into 45 degree. So change it to 45 into D, and D is 2. Now say OK. So the second part is done. Save it. Now the third part, which is the key. So once again go to new, part, solid, assign the name and say OK. Now to start this part, I will directly go to extrude onto the front datum plane, normal. Now I will draw the rough sketch. Just like this. Now this is 9 and this is 80. Now this dimension is again not given. They have given the slope 1:100. Now to calculate this dimension, multiply 1 by 100 with 80, which will be 0.8. So this dimension will be 9 minus 0.8, which is 8.2. Now say OK. Make it symmetry. And this is 14. Say OK. Now for better understanding, I will put one color to this surface and this surface. So this is the bigger face, 9, and this is the flat face. This face is having this slope 1:100. Now save it. Now the next part is the nut and bolt. So once again go to new, part, solid, assign the name and say OK. So now I will first create bolt and parallelly I will create the nut. So to create the bolt, first I will create the bolt head, and for this I will go to extrude onto the right datum plane, normal. Go to palette, 6-side hexagon, double click and drop here. Close it. Now you drag it and place somewhere here. You can rotate it if you want. Now just say OK. You delete this dimension and add new dimension from here till here. Now this will be 24 because it is M12. So double of 12 and say OK. Now this thickness is 8 and say OK. Now if you see this side of this bolt head, you will clearly see here a chamfer, and for that I will create a revolve cut. But while creating the revolve cut, make sure that you select a datum plane which is having two sides. So this is the datum plane, one side and second side. You should not select this datum plane because this datum plane is not having any side. So I will select this datum plane and I will go for revolve, normal. Now go for reference, select this as a reference and this as a reference. Now draw the sketch from here, this side and this side. Now the dimension. So this angle will be 30 degree and this one I will take as 5. Now go for reference, select this as a reference and place a datum center line as a axis of revolution. Now you say OK. Go for remove material. See the preview. So you are getting the chamfer and say OK. So once this is done, I'll save it as part 5. So I'll go to File, Save As, save a copy. And here I'll consider it as a part 5 and I'll say OK. Now I'll open that file. And here first I'll change this thickness. So this is 10. And then I will create a hole. So for this I'll go to hole. I'll select this surface, hold the control key and select the center axis. Now since it is M12 hole, so for that change to standard and from here you select M12. Depth you make it 2 next. And say OK. And save it. So your nut is done. Now I'll complete the bolt. So the bolt head is done. Now this portion is left and for this go to extrude, select this surface, normal, draw the circle. So this is 12. Now say OK. Now this length will be 34 plus 18. Say OK. Now the next feature is this threaded portion, and since it is a purchase item, we don't create a thread, we just place a symbolic representation for that thread. So for that go to engineering, cosmetic thread, select this surface to place the thread. Now you go to the depth, start thread from, so select this surface, from here the thread will start. Now this depth they have given 18, so make it 18. Now change it to standard and from here you select M12 and say OK. So your thread is generated. Now the last feature is chamfer. So go to the chamfer and select this edge. This you make it 1 and say OK. And your bolt is done. Now save it. So all your parts are done. Now we need to assemble it. And to assemble it, create an assembly file first. So go to new, select the assembly, assign the proper name and say OK. Now to assemble all the parts, we need to call all the parts one by one. So I'll start with flange. So go to assemble. This is my first part, which is flange. I'll say open. And first I will fix it with default. So I place this part. Now the second part is my shaft. So once again go to assemble. Second part. Now to assemble this part, I'll select this face and select this face. Then this face with this face. Now this gap is 5. Here you can see that. Now this part is fully constrained. that is why it is showing in orange, but I have just selected only 2 constraints and we need 3 constraints to fix any part. So the third constraint, it is assuming because it is a cylindrical part. So to apply the third constraint, first we need to uncheck this. Now for the third constraint, click new constraint and align this surface with this surface and say OK. Now the third part, which is this part, the key. So I'll go to assemble and part 3. Now I'll just say OK to check the flat face. Once again I'll edit it. Now this face will go and sit to this face, make it coincident. Now this face will go and sit here onto this face. Now if you see this key is 2 mm away this side. So this will be 2 and then select this face and align with this face. Make it coincident. And say OK. So these 3 parts are done. Now I'll just change the color of this part. So I'll open this part and I'll go to View, Appearance. I'll select any of the color. I'll change to Part and I'll select this part. Save it and go to the assembly. Similarly, I will change the color of this shaft. So I'll select any of the color and I'll select this part. I'll say OK. Save it and go to the assembly. Now the third part is the key. So key I will leave as it is. So now this portion is done. Now this side, and for this once again I'll go to assemble the first part, but this time I will leave this as it is. I'll say OK. So once part is not fully constrained, you will get a box symbol here which shows that the part is under constraint. But don't worry about this. I will assemble shaft and key onto this first and then I will assemble this with this. So to assemble the shaft, you can once again go to the assemble and call the part, but there is a easier way. So I'll just go to the existing shaft and I'll go for repeat. Now while assembling this part, I have used these 3 constraints. So you need to remember this constraint, where and how you have done. So I'll select all these 3 constraints and I'll say add, and then I'll select other 3 correspondence constraints. So my first constraint is this one, second one is this one, and the third one is this surface. So I got the shaft. I'll say OK. Similarly, I'll repeat the key. Now you need to remember this constraint, then this constraint, then this constraint. Add and select this surface and this surface. Say OK. Now when you assemble any part with under constraint part, then you get this kind of double box symbol. So now I will fix this part. So I'll just tilt it like this and I'll say OK. You see, all other related parts got tilted. Once again go and edit it. This time I will tilt it 90° approx and I'll say OK. So now to assemble this, once again I will edit it, and first I select this face with this face. Now I will just try to align the holes approximately. And then I will go for placement, second placement, and I will align this hole with this hole and this hole with this hole. Now it got fully constrained. Now I will say OK. So the moment this part got fully constrained, other two parts also got fully constrained. Now assemble nut and bolts. So go to assemble, select the fourth part, which is the bolt. Now first I'll select this surface with this one, and then this one with this one. Make it coincident. Now this part I can allow assumption and I can say OK. Now again this part I will repeat it. So I'll select this and this two constraint, add, and just select this surface and this surface, this surface and this surface, this surface and this surface, and say OK. Similarly, assemble the nut, which is the fifth part. So first I will select this surface with this one, and then I will select this with this one. This you make it coincident and say OK. Select the part, go for repeat, select two constraint, add, and just select surface, surface, this surface and this surface, this surface and this surface, and say OK. So the flange coupling is done. Now you save it. Now the last thing I will do is I will create a section view, and for that I will go to view, section, and I will create an offset section. So go to sketch, define, and select this datum plane, say sketch. Now I will go to the reference, I will select this as a reference. Then I will draw the line, I will start from here, I will come down, and I will close here. Now I will say OK, flip the direction and say OK. Now I can rename it as section A. Once again edit it, and inside this, now if you go to models, you have this third option, exclude selected models. So from here you can select the parts which you want to remove from the section view. So these are few parts which we can remove it from the section view. Now I'll say OK. And your flange coupling is completely done. Now you can also practice by your own. So this was the flange coupling in Creo Parametric, and I hope this video will be helpful. Now you can like this video if you find this video helpful, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.